everyone. We are going to get started with our teen, young adult Air Force session. As you know, we are heirs of the kingdom, a force in the world. We are the education ministry of Brown Chapel Church. Today I have with me Miracle and Naya, and we are going to be talking about joy. We're going to talk about joy. We are also going to make a symbol. We're going to make a symbol for the word joy. And so this is simple. I just did real quickly a couple days ago. Choose joy. Our scripture, our main scripture is Philippians 4:8, and we're just going to break this down a little bit. Some have already heard some of this, and this is a message that's a repeat. But we're in the middle of a lot of turmoil. What are some of the things that young people worry about today? What are some of the things that you look at the news, you look at the things, Miracle, what are some of the things that young people worry about today? I need you to talk loud because we are being recorded. What are some of the things that young people are worried about today?
Well, I mean, the main big one right now is like war and the U.S.'s involvement in that war.
Okay, so you have war. Naya, what other thing you think that the young people are worried about today?
College debt.
College debt. Oh wow. I can tell you about that, but it's done now. But anyway, that'll go away. But they will take it from you. You will pay them. But you have college debt. Let's go a little deeper in the war thing, and then we're going to go deeper into the college debt. Why is the war a problem? What makes the war a problem?
I mean, just like war in general is kind of like a scary thought. And most of, like, if we're talking about, like, young people, if you haven't been around for other wars, like, you just read about it. So it's kind of like, oh, like, it happened, but, like, it's over. So, like, now we're dealing with this right now. It's a little more, like, surreal.
Yeah.
And it's just it could become, like a bigger, like, problem. And it's like, I know the U.S. isn't going to really do anything, like, attacking-wise, unless a NATO country attacks. So it's like, if that happens, and then we're involved, and if this whole thing escalates, because they've got some bigger weapons than they had back inside the day. So it could put us in danger.
Would it be, do you know anybody that is in the military?
I know a couple of people that used to be.
Okay. Do you know anybody that's in the reserves?
I think so, but I can't really remember right now.
So you might have had some people in high school or even before that are cadets or have decided that that's the route that they want to go.
Yeah, there are a couple of people I know in junior ROTC and like they want to go to the Air Force or whatever, like Navy, something like that.
Okay, so you see how this can get. Now anybody 50 and up, they got to worry about their kids. But people your age and a little older have to worry about the fact that they may send you to this war. So we are in a society where there's a lot of things going on. If you live in certain neighborhoods, there's drug use. Some of it, in some neighborhoods, it's just behind closed doors because the people can afford to pay for it from their stock and their bonds. So they're on drugs, but they living in a nice apartment or nice house, and they can take it that way. Other people are in communities where people rob and steal and whatever to get that drug, get that fix. So we're in a society where we're surrounded. Everything around us is anti-joy, anti-happiness. Okay? How do you keep happiness or joy in the middle? Now I'm asking you this first. In the middle of these problems, how do you keep joy?
Cracking jokes.
Okay, cracking jokes. Okay. You said spending time with family. Okay. Miracle, how do you try to keep happy, keep joy in this time?
Just like focusing on what's good and really at the moment.
Okay, focus on what's good.
Focusing on what I can control.
Focusing on what you can control. So what can you control? You control what you eat, the music that you listen to. Okay. Okay, what you wear. Okay.
Things that I want to check off my list of things like documents I was doing some things.
Okay. All right, that's good. Last night, Catherine, I just watched this Christian comedian, and that, it's like you go through all this stuff, and you heard me earlier talking about the problems I had with events that I was working on, and just listening to somebody that had some positive stuff. He was talking about, he's a little older than y'all, so he's like in his 40s. So he's talking about how he used to get beaten from his mother and father and all those kind of things. You've most likely heard your family members talking about this stuff, and you laugh, and you're like, wow, did they really chase you under the bed? And we under the bed to try to get you? Now, y'all most likely don't deal with that. But back in those days, not anymore, back in those days, that's what parents did. And, the guy was joking. He said he saw this parent, and she was buying something for her son. And her son told her, shut up. These are the clothes I'm buying, and why don't you shut up and go somewhere while I pick out my clothes? And so the comedian was like, I went over there and I took him and I slammed him down on the floor and I beat him, and then I told her, more or less like I told her, now I got to go now. You finish up. But, and he said, now don't you call the police. And he was, but the whole concept was, he was saying that I wouldn't have never, talked to my parents like that. And most likely you two would never have thought, oh, you get out of here. You don't like these clothes, go sit down and shut up. Yeah. But it was funny, okay? It gave joy. So jokes and things like that can happen. But the scripture encourages us to think on good things, to have joy, and to seek God's face. And so the one scripture that we talked about earlier today, Naya, would you read that, Philippians 4:8?
Finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, and if there is anything worthy of praise, think
about these things. Okay, that's me typing. Okay. Here's the question. The adults did this earlier, and Miracle was involved. But we want to look at what's commendable about your life right now. What can you be thankful for? What is happening that you can be thankful for, you can have joy about? I'm going to start with you, Naya. We done picked on Miracle earlier today, but okay. Success in color guard. That's something to be joyful about, something to be thankful for, something to think about. Miracle, what do you got to be thankful for, joyful about? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's that was a big thing. Anita came back from school and she's like, oh, Dad, y'all so great. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, yeah. And I'm like, but, the thing is, they most likely can find some things to be commendable about, too. Other things. The fact that they're in school, do you know it's amazing that you're getting to go to school? And you might have some little bit of debt later on. But it's going to afford you to have a better life than most people. To be able to buy things that most people will never get to even think about purchasing. So that's commendable. What other things are commendable that you're dealing with? That you can think, hey, what about your friends? You got any friends that you can say, it's commendable, I got a friend that I can commend? You said, yeah. Okay, what does that mean?
I don't.
Okay, it's complicated. Okay. Well, one of the things is you're there. I don't know. God allows us to have people around us that are commendable and people that aren't, and you're there to help them. to show them the joy, to show them, like I was telling you about this young African girl that did this. I should play one of her poems for y'all one day. But one of the things that she did that it was encouraging, she got up and she talked about the fact, and she's just in college. She's around y'all age. She's just in college. And people asked her a question. After she did her poem, they said, well, what's your plan? Well, she says, well, I got a 10-year plan, and I got a 30-year plan. And in 10 years, I plan to do this. And in 30 years, I want to be something at the UN and maybe the President of the United States. And everybody started clapping. So she had these plans. She had plans for where she's at now. She's the poet laureate for Allegheny County, young lady. And so she came from a bad situation from Africa, from Nigeria or something. She's here, and she has these goals. She has these plans. She knows where she's going. And she's like, I don't know if I'll get there, but I'm going to get somewhere because I have these high goals. And when I was listening to it, I was like, ooh, I wish all the young people, the kids, young people here, the young people that I was involved with at University Prep, I wish they could have heard this girl because it was all positive. I'm moving forward. I'm going on. I've got things that I'm planning to do. So you just think that through. Okay, I'm going to college. What do I plan to do? I'm in college. What do I plan to do with it? And once I get out of college, what do I plan to do with some people want to go to college and they want to get that job. They get that job. But what do you want to do within that job? Where you want to go? Okay. So what was that? Okay. So think about that. Think about where do you want to be when, first of all, you want to graduate from college, okay? That's a big deal. You'll be shocked by the time you're a sophomore, junior, how many people just drop out of school, okay? They just drop out. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I just know people that are thinking about it already.
They either drop out of school or they just try to float through, just get by. And I watched it when I was there, and I remember coming home with a group of guys that would come from playing basketball. They were on a basketball team, and they were talking about their classes. And I said, man, if y'all don't, you know how you do when you're younger, you talk, but man, y'all gonna do this, y'all gonna do that, and y'all gonna get kicked out of school. And they all start laughing. They were all on probation. I said, no, you don't do this. Don't do that. Now, a couple of them got their life, got things back together. You can go on probation and you can take a year off and come back. But have a goal. Have a goal. And then have steps, have action steps. Here's what I need to do to get where I need to get. So I've got to go to class every day if I'm going to graduate. I'm going to have to do this if I'm going to graduate. Guess what? Majority of I'm going to say majority. It matters what roommates you have. There's some people that's in that school is not going to help you. They're not there to help you graduate. They are there to party, have a good time, and they are not there to help you graduate. And if you don't stay around some people that are there to graduate, these people will help you not graduate. Okay? And the college professors don't necessarily, and I don't know, Miracle might have something different, but most of the college professors don't care if you graduate or not. They don't care if you get it or not. Some of them, you got to fight them. If you having trouble, you got to fight them. You got to keep after them. They won't return your calls. They won't return your emails. You got to sit in their office and say, I'm not getting this. Help me. Okay? Because they don't care. They're getting a good paycheck. They could care less. Now, some of them ain't getting that good of pay. They're adjunct professors. They're not getting a lot of money from the school anyway. They're getting a couple $1,000s. Once you get old, you realize a couple $1,000 is enough. Okay? When you got to pay, when you get to $1,000, $500 gas bill, $1,000 ain't enough. But at your point, you might think of it as a lot of money. It's not a lot. So you have to understand what these teachers are up against. So some of them are tenured and they're making thousands of dollars. Others are like adjuncts. They come in, they come out. They got other jobs. They ain't caring about you. Okay? Okay, I hate to say it, but that's the way it is. So you've got to care about you, and you've got to be look for those things and look for those commendable teachers. So God has done great things for you. Just the fact that you're in school, you just gotta get accepted into a school. What school? Why did you choose Howard University?
I thought that it was a school that would help me there, that would like help me to be pushed forward in like where I want to go. With like networking as well as like education. And I wanted a more black-centered education.
Okay, so you wanted to go more black-centered. You wanted to be where you felt that somebody would help you. Okay, why did you choose your college? Because you had both of you had other offers. So why did you choose the school that you chose?
A few reasons. One, my parents went there. Two, it's in Pennsylvania, even though it's very expensive still, but it's in Pennsylvania. And three, if I stay the track that I'm going now long term and go to law school, it was cheaper to just go to Penn State for undergrad.
Okay. So you had a reasoning behind what you're doing. Both of you have reasoning. So always remind yourself those are good reasons, those commendable reasons. Always remind yourself when you're dealing with school, when the classes is hard, when the friends say, hey, we're having a party tonight, you're saying, oh, no, I can't go to that party because I have a goal. I'm going somewhere. Okay? I'm going somewhere. Other people aren't going somewhere. Some people are floating along in life. Unless whatever happens, happens. And they do whatever. When you want God to move ahead in your life, you want joy, you choose it. So make a point to choose joy and choose to be happy. So you know what? I think I'm going to, let me see if I can find this poem by this young lady. Because let me see, just a minute. I'm going on Facebook. I'm going to close it until I find it. I don't know what'll show up on here. You know how Facebook is. So I don't want to have somebody sneak something out there that I don't. Okay, let me see. I just did a post about it. So what we want to do is this on here. It's called the Winter Jam. At the Bryce Jordan Center. Okay. Every year. It was fun. Okay. Corn Wells is there. Oh yeah. So, he's got a okay. Here's the. Okay. Okay, so what we want to do right now, we talked about Jordan, we talked about goals and all of that. We want you to make a symbol around this lesson, around the word choose joy. Okay. I already did one, but we want you to do something simple, different. But you want to make a symbol with the words in it, choose joy, or you can take something from the scripture, one of the scriptures, this scripture here, and do some words with that. But we want you to do that. You only have a few minutes because I know you need to go upstairs. So do that. And why I do this type of thing is because you've had visual learning. You saw this on the screen. You had me talking, us talking. So that is verbal learning. Now, as you draw out something, you make a symbol. You're having tactical learning. If you put all these things together, this is something you need to do when you're trying to memorize stuff for college and stuff like that. If you do some tactical things, it'll help you remember. Okay? So right now, I want you to remember this lesson. I want you to create a symbol that we can put on a T-shirt or that we can put on a poster right now. Okay? Choose joy.